second in the ACC in turnovers or in interceptions. What are some of the things that they've done recently that's impressed you?
Well, they have good players. Having recruited Florida for the last 25 plus years, a lot of those kids that are playing for them now, I have seen play in high school and even tried to recruit some of those kids. And they're good athletes. They're fast. They're active. You can tell that. Kudos to Larry Scott and that crew because they're playing. And Larry Scott's a good guy. That's a high energy guy that loves football, and you can tell his players are playing like him. And they've done a nice job this last month since they had the issue back in October. But it's another game of college football, and we've played good too. So down set hut, here we go.
They have that typical Miami speed.
They do, and last week against Georgia Tech, they played fast. I mean, that was very evident just watching the tape. They were playing at home, last game, and they played with a lot of passion. And they went, and they got good DBs, good linebackers, good linemen. I mean, the ends can rush fast, the linebackers can chase, the corners can cover. I mean, it's just typical Miami. But Pitt went down last year and played them and won on the road. So our kids know that they have beaten Miami before. So it's nothing to be afraid of, but definitely something to respect.
I mean, in your career, have you been a part of staffs that have to go with an interim head coach after a guy gets let go? You were at Illinois. Did that happen?
Yeah, not Illinois, no, but I've been part of staffs where you're in that whole issue where coaches.
What are some of the challenges when a head coach gets let go in the middle of the season as you sort of try and move forward?
Well, the one thing, kids are still kids, players still players, and as long as they understand that there's a game to be played and they enjoy playing to compete, they just go out and do it. You still formulate a game plan, and you obviously you piece some things together from a mental side. But that's one thing I already alluded on is I think Larry Scott, who he is, a guy who I've known and coached against before. They're just kind of, you can tell they're playing like Larry, and like I said, it'll be fun to play him because I think our kids are excited because it is a good football team. It's a great way to end your season, for your regular season, here in Heinz Field against a good football team, and it's supposed to be nice weather from at least a weather standpoint, which. I'm upset it's not, snowing 20 and wind chills, but hey, they're going to come up here. They'll be ready to go, and we'll be ready to go. It'll be a great game.
What's JP done for you this season in your room as a leader?
Well, I think he's played great respect the deal that, he is a senior and, was elected captain. So I think he just has kind of expanded his chest and thrown his shoulders back and, hey, this is a very special, opportunity. You got a chance to meet Mike Ditka, a couple weeks ago when he was here, and that was a big deal for JP to, a former tight end, and get a chance to meet him and to introduce, hey, Coach Ditka, here's our senior captain, tight end from Shaler, Pennsylvania, and great honor. I think he's played to that honor. That doing the little things are important, whether you catch a ball or not. Just to break a huddle with some attention to detail and go block a guy is part of the game.
Friday being his last game at Heinz Field. What you've seen, you see him being a guy that maybe it won't be his last game at an NFL stadium?
I just focus, on today. Today we put in plays. So, hey, JP, get this stuff done. That'd be remain to be seen. We've had a lot of NFL scouts come through and ask. So at least they're looking at it on tape and trying to evaluate to, see their future. But I'm just concerned about JP finishes, very proud Pitt Panther to get that job done.
When a guy is coming out senior day, do you say anything to the seniors beforehand to sort of try and get them mentally in the right place?
No, that is done well before that day. To remind guys, they are seniors, so when they didn't take their shoes off, they go in the building and practice, remind them you are a senior. Just the small things they must hear and understand, so just not that last day reminder. And, I send JP, just like all the tight ends, kind of multiple texts throughout the day to keep their brains where they belong. And I think JP understands that here's a great opportunity to finish a career with, a 9-win regular season, which is a big deal, and then to go on to a bowl game and fight for a 10th. That'd be a very proud moment when he comes back 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. He can come back as that, captain that, my team won 10 games. Our team won 10 games. Here's what we did in the Proud Panthers. So, there's some good light that needs to be seen there.
A lot of times a first-year staff, it takes a while to adjust. The players to go out to adjust to them. But you guys sort of hit the ground running and, have not had any problems.
Ground sprinting.
Sprinting.
Yeah, sprinting.
No, you were sprint rather than run.
Yeah, two number one, Coach Narduzzi did a phenomenal job. My hat's off to him just to how he operated, got this program rolling in his phase. I thought strength coach Dave Andrews and that whole crew did a great job in the off season. But even bigger than that was the kids accepting, the change, adapting to the change, and just being football players. So, kind of a three-part system there of, the coaches, the strength program, just the players being good players, good kids, that are tough, that want to win, took coaching and been a joy to be around.
Did you know what to expect when you got here, or was it a pleasant surprise when things started going well?
I thought going through spring ball, that they won 6 games a year ago, and I said, if they can win 6 last year, and a lot of guys have returned, that returning players, just bump up a notch, well, then you'll win a couple more games because you've bumped up a notch, and they have done that. They worked their tails off in the off season to get where they are. They've had great mental energy. I think they've treated games, with great respect. But the biggest thing this team has done, in my opinion, after coaching for 30-plus years, is they have traveled well together. I think our road games have come from great team unity, great bonding. And, when they travel as a good group, good things happen. There's been no separation of team. It's been one big team, one big unit. I think that's played off a lot of those road wins into the season.
You say, they won 6 last year. A lot of guys coming back, bump up a little bit. You don't factor in losing the ACC Player of the Year in Week 1. Is there a sense of, this could have gone a lot, could have gone off the rails?
You could sit there and say if, but a lot of teams maybe have lost a player or two. But he was the returning, ACC Player of the Year, which it's hard to replace those guys. But some other kids stepped up. Allison got some yards rushing, made a few plays, and it's been interesting that every week it seems like we've got some type of ACC player, whatever. Some kid just did something you didn't expect. He played above his head and got ready to go and help us win a game that got recognition. So you got to do that for one more week against, again, a very good team. They've got good players. They're kind of on a roll. They're got good offensive players, good defensive players. You're going to see, with Boyd and what Cooley, that's 2 of the better receivers in our league battling here on the last game of the season. So it'll be fun and exciting.
One last question. Obviously, your group has had a few touchdown catches, run blocking. Have you been pleased with what they've done to open up that part of the game?
Well, I think they've done their part. Obviously the numbers with the offensive line show that we've run the ball consistently and efficiently. Not that we've rushed for 300 yards a game, but you want to block better. You want every player to do better. But they have done their part. I think they've kind of just understand, here's my role and go do the role. And I think a lot of players in their team have done that in all facets. Coach, thank you very much.